This is Lara Henares making your day with an article by Maria Angela C. Mina entitled Too Many Superheroes. This time of the year, I think that many people's musings on the state of Hollywood are prompted by the Oscars and all the glamour, gossip, and controversy surrounding it. There's good reason, after all, from Leo DiCaprio finally winning an Oscar to the boycott of certain black actors. There was plenty to talk about and reflect upon. Unfortunately, my own reflection on the Oscars has to be based on my observations that I've watched two films that have been nominated for any of the categories. Mad Max, Fury Road, and Hateful Eight. It's not because I haven't watched any movies this year. I actually watched quite a few. It's just that most of them are big budget blockbusters that aren't Oscar material. Sure, Titanic was showered with nominations and awards when it came out, and it was a big budget melodrama, but over the years, Hollywood's biggest, most expensive, and most lucrative productions have become those that cash in on an expanding geek culture, fueled largely by either the current obsessions of teenagers or the nostalgia of my generation. Comic book and cartoon shows, old toy lines, even if it came out anywhere from the early 80s to the mid-90s, it is fair game. Since I'm part of the target demographic for all these films, I have to admit that I'm not exactly complaining. It's wonderful to see all the things that fired my imagination when I was a kid brought to life on the big screen. Some of it is terribly shallow. Some of it is downright garbage. But some of it has stuck with me through the years because it resonated with things I knew were important and real. More about this after these messages. This is Lara Henares making your day with the first part of Maria Angela C. Mina's article entitled Too Many Superheroes. And I continue to quote, I consider Stan Lee as the greatest comic book writer to ever pick up a pen. There are others who are better at it as both a craft and an art, but it was Stanley Lee who revolutionized this characterization of superheroes. Batman, created by Bob Kane, is one of the most iconic superheroes to wear a mask as well as a cape. And Bruce Wayne wore that mask not just to hide his identity, but to strike fear into the hearts of his opponents. Spider-Man, on the other hand, who was Stanley Lee's creation, did not wear a mask to make his enemies afraid. Stanley Lee clarified that Peter Parker wore the mask so that his enemies wouldn't see that he was afraid. And that's the truly amazing thing about Spider-Man. He was stronger, faster, even smarter than most human beings. But at the bottom, he was just a kid who was doing the best he could to be brave. That was what made him a hero, not the powers. Seeing a movie that did Spider-Man and all the heroes of my childhood justice was a real treat for me. And it always will be. I doubt I'd get sick of it. Still, I don't think it is a completely good thing that so much of the film industry's resources are poured into movies that are so unashamedly unoriginal. I'm not saying that Hollywood should avoid adapting other media to film. Some of the greatest movies ever made are adaptations, such as Apocalypse Now, The Godfather, and The Silence of the Lambs. Besides, if Shakespeare did not feel the need to come up with completely original material, I don't see why Hollywood should be obliged to. But there's a difference between adaptations that are made out of a genuine creative impulse and adaptations that are made simply because they have a ready audience. Actually, it might even be more accurate to say captive audience, since this is an audience that is sometimes so willing to put up with the abuse movie makers heap on them. You'd think they were being herded into the theaters at gunpoint. Fans of Star Wars watched all 3 of the prequel movies, even if the films were terrible. Some of the more dedicated ones even showed up dressed like Jedi Knights. Fans of Harry Potter made up the bulk of the audience who watched the movies. And if Star Wars fans put up with a whiny teenage Darth Vader, Harry Potter put up with 7 books being stretched into 8 movies. More tomorrow, my dear friends. This is Larry Henares, making your day, saying good day, God bless you. Thank you very much for being with us. Till next time, hasta la bye-bye.